Man like Sarah Garvey.
What's going on, King? What's going on?
They are. It's the first one of these. First one of these, sir. Audience got to bear with, man. We're gonna work it out as we're going along. You get me?
All right, improvisation. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, this thing here is called Sincere and Specific, and the purpose of this show is that man get to come on here and express whatever it is about themselves they want the world to know. And me, my job is to ask them questions what I feel people want to know as well. You get me?
All right.
So I don't want no stone left unturned. I want the man them and the girl them to know anything about this person, what man's asking. There shouldn't be no more, nothing else shouldn't be left to, I wonder if he's about this or I wonder if he's about that. You should have a clear understanding of this person who man's interviewing right now, you get me?
Okay.
And the purpose of that is so that, because I've been seeing too many people online talking about, this brother's about this, he's about that, I don't like him, cause this and that. And they don't even ask, man, what you are about. They're just telling you what you're about, prejudice, you get me?
Right.
And then from their misconceptions, they then go to make hatred fester inside of their heart. And then they want to do something extreme because all of this hatred's been festering inside their heart when these times they don't even know what you're about because they didn't ask you. So yeah, that's what this show's about. So we're gonna get into it real quick.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm good, man. I'm here.
Yeah, all right. So the first question I'm gonna ask is, in relation to Speaker's Corner and you coming up here, give me the brief history of how you even started coming to Speaker's Corner in the first place.
All right. So I'd have to say this was a journey. My journey took me there because I went my own personal journey of research. I'd say, I started getting into what they would call consciousness and understanding myself about, 10 years ago. And so after my own study, my own books, reading not my own books, just learning more about myself and more about my people, more about my history. I kind of came to realize that religiously, I'd stopped affiliating myself with the Abrahamic religions. And Speaker's Corner, I used to watch videos of Speaker's Corner, and I used to be shouting at the TV screen. I used to shout nah, that doesn't make sense, and da-da-da-da. So I just, you know what, let me take myself down there. So I took myself down there after knowing a little bit, I took myself down there and just got into debates randomly, and it's kind of built from there. I think I've been going about 3 years. Yeah.
So what was like your first response? Your first impression of Speaker's Corner when you actually got there and you're witnessing it now after watching it on TV? What was you watching it on? Titans?
No, just random YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It's this is back 3 years ago, so this is literally random YouTube clips, and me and Gary used to talk a lot. So I don't know if I went with him first or I can't.
You know him from outside the park.
Yeah, from outside the park. I've known Gary a while, so I don't even remember my first time down there. But my initial. When I went down there initially, I was thinking to myself, this is very religious, because I remember it used to be political and stuff. I remember a guy called Ishmael Balgrove used to be down there, and he used to he used to speak about a lot of political stuff. And
I rate him still.
Yeah, I like Ishmael, man. And but it got very religious, and so for me, I kind of looked at that as we're in close proximity to Edgware Road, which is a very Muslim area. So maybe that's why I kind of looked at it like that.
So how did you feel about getting more religious?
With me, I've got a very strong opinions on Abrahamic religions in general. So it was a battleground / playground for me, because I feel like I know, I studied Abrahamic religions, for years I studied them. I studied Judaism, Christianity and Islam, like studied them, not to study them to say I'm going to become a part of them, but studying the history of them, studying how they came about, their political systems within them. Like I studied it from that angle. So for me, it was like a playground and a battleground to kind of sharpen information.
Yeah. So what was your interest in even learning that information in the first place?
Do you know what, right? This has to be a spiritual experience for me, you know. This is my own personal ancestral. You know me and the ancestors already. This is my own. This is me. This is me linking it to my ancestors, right? So, my mum had some children, and I was the only child that didn't get baptized. So, for whatever reason, right, the ancestors chose not to put that quote unquote holy water on my head. So even though I was raised in the church, yeah, even though I was raised there, something just didn't sit right with me. I'm not gonna lie to you, something in that whole environment just didn't seem right to me, bro. And like, to me, that was my ancestors speaking to me, but I weren't listening. I wasn't connected to them like that. I wasn't connected to the landmass. I wasn't connected to what they do. However, in my own spiritual system, I believe that, you know, you're in contact with them and they try to contact you, and they're like if you want to talk about, if you want to say your conscience or your guide. So we all have that inner voice in us that says, you know what, nah, don't do that or do that. So yeah, I think the holy water missed me, bro. So so the ancestors were like, yeah, we're gonna take this one.
So what age was you like that when you started thinking like that in terms of the holy water missed me and your conscience was telling you?
The more I read, from like the age of like 26, when I started reading, and I felt a spiritual connection to what I was reading, which was interesting. Like the more I would read, is the more I would feel connected to it when it came to the continent of Africa, when it came to the spiritual systems that people do and the practices that they have. Like I felt my spirit connecting to it. So I mean, this is definitely my own conclusion that I've come to. Like this ain't no, oh, this is what his religion teaches. It's just my own conclusion, my own personal conclusion that, yeah, they were talking to me. I just had to listen.
Yeah. So you see this, man's gonna get into some of the critics now. Some of the criticisms of Sarah. See this Batman thing now. At the time, when you was doing your acting thing, I don't know if you're still doing your acting thing.
I'm not acting. In regards to that, yeah. Let's say nearly 15 years ago, I used to do, well, fresh out of college, I was acting. I was acting in college, as a matter of fact. I did performing arts in college.
Sorry to cut you, but before you continue on, I just want to preface the question, innit?
Go on.
Like, in terms of, I want you to bear in mind, like, even myself and people that I know within my personal relationships with people, back then time there when man was a youth, man weren't conscious or nothing, but man still knew certain things man weren't to have no part of, you get me?
Yeah.
So in terms of the back, like, man grew up on bashment and that alone would have told man, boom, bye, and a Batman head, and man ain't to do no.
I used to sing that song on a regular, bro.
Man ain't to do no type of them Batman thing, and that was like the main. If you want to insult someone, you're in a cussing match or something. Man used to have cussing matches all the time.
So you're a Batman.
That's the main thing man saying. You're a Batman. What are you talking about? Yeah. And man weren't actually a Batman. Man never knew no actual Batman. But if man see man doing anything suspect, that they could say that's what a Batman would do. That's a Batman thing. So bear that in mind. And
no, I hear you, you know, bro. Because the thing is, in 2017, I'm the same guy that will watch a show, and if they've got like, I've got children in it, so I'm like, nah, I don't want them watching certain things because I don't agree with certain things, right, on the homosexual front. So. But like I said, back then, as what they call a creative, see, I can go back to the person that I was then and know my mind back then, right? Okay. So as an actor, fresh out of college, fresh out of, fresh into the acting world, yeah, I was just like, yeah, I will do anything. Give me a role, I'll play it. Like, I'll play a roadman, or I'll play a criminal, or I'll play a crackhead, or I will play literally anything. And I did, I played all kinds of roles. So when this role came up, funnily enough, when it came up, and I went for the audition, and I went to my agent, and they said, yeah, the character's bisexual. And in my head, I was like, what? So then I was like, what would be the role? Like, what would I have to do? Do you get what I'm saying? And she was like, oh, well, it's a 1 o'clock daytime show. So it's way before Watershed. And she was like, they can't do nothing with it. They have to like suggest that certain things are going on, and because they can't show, you know, 2 men going in the bed and doing all, it's not porn, do you know what I mean? It's like a soap opera. So I was like, how much are they paying? And that to me, I was 23, yeah? And when they told me their price, I was like, honestly speaking, like I would never have seen money like that at that age, right? So I was like, well, they can't do nothing with it. It's not that they can have me, you know, bending a man over a table and da-da-da. I was like, yeah, I'm a creative. Let's do it. Like, I'll do anything. That's the mode I was in it. So I was naive.
So didn't all the bashment music come back in your mind and all that?
Bro, do you know what it was? I had to reconcile it with my mum, reconcile it with my girl, and my girl at the time, and reconcile it with my brethren. So I went and sat down with all of them, like, individually, and I said, Mum, listen, like, they're offering me this role, like, da-da-da. And she was like, what's the problem? You're not gay. You're not bisexual. I was like, yeah, I know, but like people aren't gonna like it. Like they're gonna think they were like, and she was like, what? Why are you gonna live for them? And I was like, all right, cool. This is what went back then. I went to my brethren. One of my brethren was like, nah, bro, bun that. Don't do it. And the other one was like, how much are they paying? And they were like, how long have you do it for? And he was like, well, what do you have to do? And I was like, it's not like. There's nothing, I ain't got to do like nothing mad, like bend man over the table and have man hugging me up. It's not like that, it's a daytime show. Then my girl was just like, she didn't like me. At that time, any role, because I was on TV, because the thing is, my main thing on TV was to have I had a fiance, a fiance. And I was basically, the role was, I was basically a Gyalis in it. Right, and that was like a front for my undercover side, yeah? So
that was the character's.
That was the character's real thing. Like the character was, he's got a girl.
He was trying to live that life.
He was trying to live that life to try and hide away from his feelings for all this kind of stuff. So she was more concerned with the amount of girls that I had to be like basically with on screen, yeah. So then I kind of had to, you know, I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. So I just, you know what? The people that I care about aren't that myth. They're not like against it. So I was like, you know what? Can I swear?
Yeah, of course.
They were like, fuck it. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Yeah. So then when I started doing it, it was quote unquote normal acting. It was normal acting. I had my wife, my family, did certain storylines, and then you'd kind of have me go into a gay bar, and it would say gay bar, right? And then you'd kind of have me going out and like looking around to see if people saw me. So it was like, a lot of it was suggestive. It wasn't like I had to hug up a man and just put my hand around him and all this kind of stuff. But there were a couple scenes where, you know, lips had to touch. I'm not gonna lie, I had to touch another man's lips, and that to me was uncomfortable. But the other guy was straight. So we were like, like, because we know he's doing it for the money. I'm just like, all right, we don't want to do this, innit, bro? Like, none of us want to do this. Like, so let's just fucking. So they had to, because it was daytime, they would go in to do it, and then they'd cut. And it was like, I knew to take the piss, with like drink water, like dash water at him. And do you know what I mean? Like, it was, so it was a thing where I would not do that again. Because I know myself. No, I know myself now.
But not only would you do it again, how do you, like, knowing that you've done it, like, do you feel ashamed from it, or?
To tell the truth, yeah, it's so long ago, yeah. It's like, this is nearly 15 years ago, which was funny.
Yeah, even that as well, that is being brought back up now.
To me, it's funny that it's because I reconciled with it then. Like, nearly 15 years ago, I got ripped, my brethren ripped me, my family ripped me.
That's what I'm gonna say, ain't on the front. Even now, I said to Kai, if me and you used to have an argument, fam, and we start cussing each other, I'm drawing for that straight. Ain't gonna front. I'm drawing for that, fam. You can't tell me nothing. You're back, man. Wait till I kiss the man. Can't tell me that. You know, man, I have to use whatever tools is in man's belt. And that's what I'm saying. That's what my mentality was. In school, man used to diss, man. Like, me and my brethren used to just diss each other, tell each other about their mum. Anything we can find, a little chink in the armor, we're going for that, for the juggler.
Yeah, but that only works if it offends.
Yeah, if it
you see what I'm saying? Because back then, I would have been like, shut up! But I'm saying this is nearly 15 years ago. So I reconciled with it then. It's funny that people have, I said at the height of the show, there were 1.5 million people watching.
Okay.
So 1.5 million people knew me as that character, yeah? Like, and so now people are saying, oh yeah, you played a bisexual. I'm like, yeah, like, that's a long time ago. I said, back then, Jesus was my Lord and Savior.
Okay.
Back then, bro. Like, so I know that I've changed as a person. So it's like, if you spoke to Sarah back nearly 15 years ago, I would have told you, yeah, I'm Jesus guy. Now, you already know me now. Like, Jesus is the furthest thing from my psyche right now. But it's just like, you go through like transitions in your life. And to me, it's just a part of my life that I did. I might not necessarily be proud of it, but I can't change it. No, it's just something I can't change, bro. But I would advise, because any black male getting into the entertainment industry, see, what I learned from it firsthand, you see. So I saw that there's an agenda to effeminize black men. I can see, the more research I've done now, I know, but I didn't know then. Do you get me? I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do the role. And da, da, da. I didn't know there was an agenda. And being in the industry, I actually saw the agenda.
So we say now you got the type of mentality where you're thinking not just in terms of how things affect me, you're thinking more of how
they affect other people, the community.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't thinking, listen, I was so non-community minded back then. I didn't care about, I wasn't really on like, yeah, I care about black people. Da, da, da. I was like, I was just a naive 23-year-old, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, whatever you told me, I'll probably believe if it was centered around the church, because my family were heavily influenced by Seventh-day Adventist Christianity. Like, I was just, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I look at myself back then, and I kind of laugh at the man that thought he knew, or the young boy, let's say, the young man that thought he knew everything. Because me now, at 36 years old, I know that was me, but it's like, I'm nothing like that person no more. Do you know what I mean? So it's a transition.